Yay Media Group.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Cornelius back with another episode of This Is Life with Heather and Cornelius. My wife, she went on a girls trip. Y'all believe that? She went on a girls trip. Nah, but she deserves it. She need to go on one. She'd have a good time without us, without the kids, without everybody. So she's not here with us right now, but nevertheless, you get me. She sends her love, which is me. A cool thing that I always do on Mondays, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but if you don't, my Instagram handle is This Is Cornelius. But every Monday, I do a Q&A session, and the Q&A sessions are mad dope. I have questions from all kinds of different people from all types of different things. I came in the studio today, and our producer Riley was like, I got this issue, and I want to throw it out there. So we're gonna talk about it. So Riley, what is it? What is it?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the air, but I have 3 girlfriends, late 20s, early 30s, and they have great careers. They've worked really hard to establish them. Within the month, all of their men have cut the cord. They've come with this, I can't focus on this and get my career started. I don't know if I can give you the life you deserve financially. I don't know if I can give you what you're looking for. Ooh. Just cut the cord.
No combo with it.
Just I need to do this for myself, and maybe you're better off without me.
Oh, okay. So you see it. Okay, so you see it with your friends. I'm gonna talk about the view that I get on the other side when I'm sitting with the guys. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all realize it, but in our society right now, I mean, even stats are proving it, that women are succeeding at a higher rate than men. Because of this disparity and because of this imbalance, is causing a shift in our society. I was just read a news report that said that our birth rate is at a decline, where more people are just deciding not to have children, which is gonna prove really, really bad in the future for our society. So if more women decide they don't want to have kids, then that's gonna be bad. But a lot of the report was stating that a lot of women are refusing to have children right now because they are focusing on their careers, or they're waiting later to have children because they are focusing on their careers. Like, our great grandparents, they were, siblings of 13 people. Like, oh yeah, it was 9 of us. That was nothing. But, great grandmama probably started when she was like 16 having kids. Like, she started when she was 19. She got married when she was 17. You know what I mean? So you had this society back then where it was very much a traditional type of society. Women really saw themselves as nurturers. They saw themselves as caretakers. They saw themselves as bearers of life, not necessarily givers of life, but they saw themselves as bearers of life because they can hold that child in the womb. And then from there, you saw them. They took care of the household. The household was their pride. It was what they took the greatest pride in. My grandmother, my great grandmother. I mean, they took great pride in their home, and then in their family. Well, now come to where we are right now, where we kind of have a shift here. We have a shift where you have more women who are outside of the home. They have their own jobs. They have their own professions. Many of them are not married. And if they are married, they still have their own jobs. They still have their own professions. And they're expected to have their own sense of autonomy, which I think is incredibly important. Whereas in the past, the woman may not have had as much autonomy because she took on the personality, and she took on the image of her husband. So she took his last name. She also, she was very dependent on him when it came to the money. She was very dependent on him when it came to other things that were needed for the household in order to run smoothly. Well, over time, when that dependence seems to kind of be thrown to the wolves, and maybe granddaughter saw how grandmama was treated, and how grandpa just walked out, and then she was left with nothing. And then grandma now, told mama and told granddaughter, this is why you need to make sure you have your own stuff. Because if you don't have your own stuff, this man is going to leave you high and dry, and then you're going to have to figure out life for yourself. And now this ideology continues to get passed down. So now we have a society right now of women who are like, you know what? I really I want a man, but I don't know if I need one. Because really ask yourself the question, like, okay, so what do I really need the man for? Like, do I need the man to be successful? It's like, well, not really, because I'm already successful by myself. Do I need a man to get me a house? Well, not really, because I got my own crib. Like, do I need a man to take me on trips? No, I'll fly myself out. Or if I want somebody to fly me out, all I gotta do is put on a 2-piece on Insta. I'm gonna get me a DM, and I'm gonna get somebody else to fly me out. And I would rather be able just to have a rendezvous for a weekend and to, you know what I mean? So it's like, you really have to ask yourself the question. And women are like, well, what do I need a man for? And then now with our birth rate falling, you have more women who are making a decision and saying, well, I think I know I need him in order to have a child, but I don't really need him to have a child because I don't really want to have a child. And I'm okay with my life. I enjoy my freedom. I enjoy my autonomy. I enjoy my financial success. I enjoy what I'm doing. I'm enjoying my portfolio. And yes, I may get older and be alone, but I'm willing to take that because I don't want the risk of being heartbroken over and over again. So that's what's happened with the women. On the other side, while women have evolved, men haven't. So there is no evolution. Men have like if there has been a conversation in the locker room amongst the men, it's just like, you better make sure you have more than one. You know what I mean? Like, son, get what you need. You know what I mean? So there hasn't been as much evolution as it comes to the male portion of it, as much as the female portion. So now with these ladies who are like, hey, I'm doing well. I'm establishing my career. I'm killing it. I'm rocking out. I'm doing my thing. And I would hope that you would come alongside me, because this is the whole idea. You would come alongside me to support me the way that you would expect for me to come alongside you if the roles were reversed. But the dude is like, nah, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that, because subconsciously, or maybe even consciously, in his head, he's like, I ain't no punk. I'm not trying to be your trophy husband. I'm not trying. So keep it a buck. I get the guys. We go on our retreats, sit at the table. And I got guys who are in this situation where they're like, my wife killing it. Like, she got things going on, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, yo, how you feel about that? And I could throw all that stuff out there. Like, you're a team. You're supposed to, I can hear the women right now, like, but we're a team. We're doing this together. That's great on your side for you to think that. But for him, the male psyche is drenched in performance. It's all performance based. So he feels like he gets most love based on his performance level. So if he makes a good amount of money, if he makes a good amount of cash, that means he's performed well. That means he's somebody. He's valuable. So we as men typically ascribe value according to our performance. We look at things like how big my house is. That's a performance. That's like, okay, I was able to make enough to have a bigger house. We look at things like, okay, how nice my car is, or how many cars I have. Because we look at that as that's the symbolism of our performance. We look at our bodies and say, look at what I was able to achieve in the gym, because that's a symbol of our performance. When he is now up close and able to compare his performance with the woman he's dating and be like, oh, snap, I'm not living up to this, that's a problem. So he, in his mind, he's like, I'm not enough. So I got to grind. And I can't grind like I need to grind when I'm over here worried about you. Because see, ladies, you got your stuff together, but you also want to be nurtured and you also want to be protected and provided for. And I get it. You may listen, you may be like, I hear what you're saying, but he ain't even got to come together with all this stuff. Like, he ain't got to do all that stuff. In his head, he thinks he does. Because in his head, when y'all go to dinner and you like, you put up you go to dinner and you want to go to this restaurant that, is 8 courses because you just got to try it. It's an 8-course meal and it costs $800 for 2 people and you've had reservations for 4 months. He can't afford that. And it's a problem for him to be, she'll look at him and say, baby, don't worry about it. I got us. No. You can call it what you want. You can call it insecurity. You can say this man needs to get over himself. You call it whatever you want. But at the end of the day, this man who is performance driven in his psyche looks at that and says, I am not enough because I can't even afford to take my woman out on this date to get her an $800 meal like she wants. So better yet, let me stand back, let me fall back, and let me allow for somebody else to come in here who can probably give you the life you want. Riley, you shaking your head. Riley, talk to me.
I don't understand. Like, and some of the girlfriends have said, look, if you just show up for me in other ways. Show up for me of being supportive and loving. Like, I don't need finance. I got the finance. Just show up for me in other ways. You can perform in other ways. But like the fact that it's just so different. Women will fight and fight and fight and fight for what they want. So it's hard for us to understand that a man will let go of what he says he wants unless he really doesn't want it. He will let go of what he truly wants, his dream girl, because he thinks somebody else will do better.
I honestly, okay. When you say let go of what he wants, are you saying that he's saying that this is his dream girl?
I mean, that's what they're saying. So unless they're not being truthful.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say this.
Do it.
I feel like more men don't necessarily have a dream girl. They have a dream image. They have like a dream position that they have in their head of them being successful and what that success looks like. And in that picture, in that masterpiece, comes this woman who is now able to fit the image. And he can't fit the image. Like, the girl is great. And here's the thing. I have no doubt all these guys are probably kicking themselves. Like, dang, I bagged a dime. Mm-hmm. And there's no way that I can keep this girl. Like, there's no way, because he feels insecure. And I knew you were going to say that they were talking about, well, just show up in other ways. The problem is that the main ways that he feels like he should show up to be valuable, he can't show up in. Mm. So she's like, well, no, you show up other ways. Why don't you like do stuff for me? Like, and my wife and I was hosting a marriage retreat one time, and this lady and this guy were having the same thing. And we're sitting there, my wife and I sitting there talking to them. And the lady was like, yeah, why don't you just show up for me? Like, why don't you do things like before I get home, like, have dinner cooked. Riley, when she said that, I wanted to sink into my chair.
No.
Because I looked at his face. He was like, lady's like, what's wrong with that? Because if the roles were reversed, I would need to have dinner cooked. Mm-hmm. So why can't he just support me? And here's the thing that I'm going to say that I know y'all not going to like. There is an order that I don't care how progressive a man becomes. There's an order in his head that he still like innately desires to follow, where he is the head, he is the leader, and the woman follows, submits, and helps. That's it. In the mind of the man, he's like, there's an order. Because in the mind of the man, he's like the lion. He's like, listen, the lion's like, there's no point in time when the lioness is going to ever be the king of this pride. No point in time. But with lions don't necessarily hunt. The lionesses do. So understand the psyche here. Lions, they are mostly lazy. They lay down, they sleep all the time because, and the reason why they sleep and they rest, and even when the lionesses, when they kill the hunt, guess who comes to eat first? The lion. And he can eat majority of it. Then the lionesses come, and then the cubs come and eat. So the lion has to get his fill. Why? Because if another lion comes to try to take over the pride, he has to have the energy and the and the rest and the replenishment in order to fight back. Even still, as lazy as you think the lion may be, there is not any point in his process where he's ever going to cede the power and the authority over to the lioness to lead the pride. No matter how great of a hunter she is, no matter how great of a mother she is, no matter how strong she is, no matter if she is more powerful than he is, which there will never be a time in which she is, because she will always be the weaker one between the two. There is no time a lion is going to be like, you know what? You got it. Nala, you can do it. Like, ain't no time when Nala's gonna lead the pride. It's gonna always be Simba. And when Simba look at Nala and Nala's like, listen, like, I don't think you understand. Why don't I go out there and I just fight them? I can go fight him. Like, it's not a problem. I'm gonna go fight him and you just stay back. Like, why don't you go kill like a bear? Like, why don't you go kill like a warthog or something? You go kill Pumbaa and then you just wait and then don't eat, because when I come back, I'm gonna eat first because I'm the one who needs to be like, I'm sorry, Simba gonna be like, no. He gonna probably take her out. But instead of taking her out, like, instead of doing that, the Simbas are like, you know what? Mufasa like, you know what? You got it. I'm out. Because I can't take care of your needs. Providing for you and like, what is it? Like doing the dishes or just making sure that, you know, your bath waters ran or whatever it is in her head that she think it is. Providing for her in other ways. Whatever that is in his head, it don't fit. Now, I'm not saying all men. There's some guys out there who are like, hey, I'm cool with that. There's some guys out there, their wife is a breadwinner. They have no problem with it. Boom, boom, boom. You can call them secure. You can call them whatever you want to. But at the end of the day, in a lot of the men's minds, their psyche is like, I can't get down with this. So Riley,
So, I mean, us, like, me and my girlfriend, we work so hard at our careers to keep going, to make it to where we want to go. So are we just screwed then until we find somebody that has their own established career later in life?
Either you find somebody who has their own established career or you find a man who is willing to build together. And finding a man who has his own established career in this day and age may be the most difficult. Mm-hmm. The more difficult may be to find a man who says, all right, let's come in here, let's build something together. Because if a man is an architect in his mind, he can look at what you've already built and come in and say, okay, we can transform this, we can do this, we can do that, and then come up with an exit strategy for you to kind of escape the job understand you've created that career, but allowing for that career to be something that you can do in your pastime, that it doesn't have to be your full time. And then also, if he is a good enough leader, then you will want to follow. Like, if he's a good enough leader, you would be willing to give up your career to go and follow him because you recognize his leadership abilities and his skills. So yeah, I don't think that's common. I don't think it's common. I don't think that I don't think you're gonna have the results you think you want from this. And those guys are going to continue to walk away from those relationships. Because the bigger question is being asked now, Riley, is marriage even advantageous anymore?
I would say about 80, 85% of my girlfriends are like, I don't think I want to be married anymore. I have 3 friends that are already divorced in their 30s, whether it's infidelity or partners just checking out or abuse or other, like all of them. And so one of my girlfriends is like, I'm financially ruined from divorce and I'm 30. And so all these women are saying, is it really beneficial for me to be married anymore? If I can find a partner that meets me where I am and I meet them and I support, it's mutual, is that enough as opposed to taking that next step?
It is wild because I see the same thing on my end. Most of the guys I know are divorced. They're in their 30s, 40s. They're divorced. Or they're not married, and they're saying they're not going to get married. And for the guys who are divorced, they're not looking to get remarried because they do not see the benefit in marriage. And even when I ask the questions like, well, what about kids? They're like, well, I mean, I can have a kid. I mean, that ain't nothing. I even have a buddy, his whole thing where he's looking for a woman right now to just go half on a kid with. That's it. He's like, if you vibe well, let me look at your maternal habits. Let me just befriend you for a little bit. Would you be a good fit to be a mom? Because I want to be a dad, but I don't want to be married. And as crazy as that sounds, like that's where our society is right now. And for those guys who are walking away from those relationships, I mean, they just don't see the benefit or the advantage of staying with a woman that it could be that they feel like is going to ultimately use this insecurity or this spot they're in against them. So they're going to walk away. So our society sucks, man.
Yeah.
Our society really does suck, man. Like it really does suck right now. Dang, 80%?
Yeah, my parents have been married for 37 years and traditional. I've never seen a love like my parents. And I'm even hesitant to be like, just with the dating culture, all my friends, all my experiences, I'm even hesitant of like, do I really want to get married? Like, I love my parents' love. I'd love to have that, but I don't see it happening with how men and culture is today.
I think culture has definitely changed. Culture has changed. And with a decrease in marriage, like I say, we have a decrease in childbirth. And because of that, that means that our society is going to ultimately be ruined. It's going to be wiped out because you won't have enough children in order to take care of the labor force. You won't have enough children who are going to help to stimulate the economy. You just won't have enough children. And then with the mortality rate, decreasing in a lot of places, people are dying younger. So now they're dying younger and they don't have kids. That sets up a huge problem. And we may not see the effects of it right now in our generation, our lifetime, but it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming. So yeah, Riley, I hate to say it, but our society sucks, and that men have a psyche that is about performance. That's where we base our value off of. If it doesn't work, then that's problematic. Yeah.
No, I appreciate your point of view because I think, of course, all of us girls are just sitting in a circle like, what happened? What led to this? Okay, well, just a week ago, he was telling me I was his future wife and he wants to be with me. So what changed? What flipped? Like, we all want to dissect and analyze to hopes of like grabbing onto something that we can make sense of. And all of us are kind of just like at the point of maybe we just have to move on. There's no sense in making sense of it.
Let me just say before I end this, let me just say the piece about him saying that you were his future wife. I said earlier that I don't think that men have a dream girl as much as they have a dream image. And I think there was a part of his vision that saw this woman in it to be a true player in it. But then when he noticed how much he could do alone versus with her, it's almost like the easier decision is just to walk away. So I don't have to deal with all of this. And all of this being everything that comes along with the relationship. Because relationships nowadays are also extremely difficult. Because you have to think about, okay, needs and wants and expectations and this and that. And we have to converse. We have to meet each other's parents, and we got to talk about these things. And do you really want just me? Do you want somebody else? Do you want something else? What is it you're after? What is it? So you have a lot of different factors here that I think that we have to stop and analyze. But nonetheless, there's a dream picture, the dream girl, but the dream picture is a lot different than the dream girl. Because I know guys who left their quote unquote dream girls, divorced their quote unquote dream girls, went out and found a younger dream girl who was not established. She didn't have an established anything. And then she came along and then they built something bigger, which is a lot of times why you see, and I'm going to go and say it, older men who go after younger women because they are typically less established. And the man would rather be with a woman who is and I won't say all men, but some men would rather be with a woman who is less established than to try to date this more established woman who carries so much alpha/masculine energy that he's like, I don't want to continue this. I'd rather just go with the 18, 19 to the 22-year-old. I'd rather go with the 22-year-old. He's 58, but he wants a 22-year-old because she's not established yet. And now in his mind, as a Mufasa, she can come along and she can help bear some cubs and kind of fall in line. And the one piece about our society that I did not mention is that our society, because it is so lopsided, has created a lot of men who lack courage. Courage is the reason why so many men, their love language is, or I hate the love languages, but the reason why so many men, they love language is words of affirmation, is because literally the way that you give someone courage is you speak to them. So I want you to have this image in your head. It's like when you speak courage or when you speak strength into someone, it's like you're cutting off that person's heart, cutting off the top of it, and you're pouring courage inside. That's encouragement. Encouragement. When I want to make someone weaker, I discourage them. That's literally like me reaching in your heart and I pull courage out of you. 3 different times the Bible mentions that it would rather be somewhere else than to be in the same place with a contentious woman, a woman who is always trying to fight. The reason being is because in this contention, there's no courage. So he has no courage to lead. He has no courage. So even if you are in a relationship with a man and you may seem to be doing better, I guarantee you the relationship will be healthy when you encourage. Now, in the same way, the man to provide courage. Women nowadays, I would go on a limb in saying that women nowadays have a lot more courage than men do. A lot more. Women are going after higher positions than ever before. Women right now are progressing. They're making more money than ever before. Women right now are killing it. They're pushing forward. That means you have your own set of pushbacks, you have your own set of setbacks, but you are pushing forward. I see that, I understand that. But at the same way, men right now, I do not know if you recognize it, but men are at a severe disadvantage. A severe disadvantage. I host men's retreats. I have a nonprofit. I have reached out to companies asking for them to donate. You want to know what I had a company tell me? They said, we love what you are doing, Cornelius. They said, however, between us, I'm letting you know that we are earmarking a lot of our funds for women, specifically Black and brown women. And I responded and I said, but what about the men? The lady said to me, she said, I hear you. She said, but you guys have already had your time. Women are sitting in these meetings with the power of the pen, able to make the decision. And if they're going to amplify any voice, it's going to be the voice of other women. And it's no shock to us, women are more relational than men. So when women get their girlfriends together, it's easy for me to help promote my girlfriend than I'm going to promote this dude over here because I don't know what his motives are. So to the ladies that are out there, I want you to understand that you are wielding a very, very strong power right now. That was, in my opinion, never supposed to be that way. Going all the way back to the curse with Eve. She was going to have a desire to control her husband. This sense of control, although it is an illusion, is a power that you now possess. The way you talk, the way you move, the way you promote everything you do, it is a power and a strength to ruin a man. I mean, throughout the Bible, the greatest kings were brought down because of a woman. I mean, man lays his head in a woman's lap and she cuts his hair, takes away his strength. A man walks on his roof and instead of being at war, he notices somebody else's wife. He has sex with her wife, with this dude's wife, and then sends the man to the front of the war, to the front line of battle in order to die. These are things that happen. You hold an incredible amount of strength. How you yield it determines the outcome. So I know that may not be encouraging for just you as an individual to say, what can I do? But collectively, you all have a power. And I think it's easy. If you really want a man, the way you talk to him, the way you treat him, the way you look at him, it matters. And I know I can hear you saying, yeah, but how about how he does? How about he does this? How about how he does it? How about if you understand the simple psyche of a man, you will get so much more out of him if you pour courage into him. You can literally build a man. Like you build a bear, you can build a man. You take this man, you do such a great job, blah, blah, blah. This man may not even have a job yet. But you know what, baby? I am so proud of you for continuing to get up every single day and fight for our family. I am so proud of you that you refuse to. I am so proud of you, blah, blah, blah. Pour courage in him. So that's what I'm going to say. Pour courage in him. Don't be discouraged because you don't need everybody. I mean, you don't need a lot of people. You don't need one person. And there's still a billion other people in here. Just just travel somewhere else outside of America. Maybe you can go to the Middle East. That's what other people are doing. They're going to the Middle East. Now, you may have to change your religion, so I don't know about that. So it's up to you if you want to do that. But nonetheless, that's what I would have to say. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So y'all, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of This Is Life with Heather and Cornelius. If this encouraged you at all, make sure you share this with your family, your friends. Tell mom and them I say, hey cousins, you know we love you. You know we always can be there for you. Every Tuesday we got a drop coming for you. It's just, we're going to talk about it Tuesday. Now we had to talk about this whole disparity between this whole thing between men and women. Like, we got to talk about it. But nevertheless, man, I love y'all. Intro deuces. I'm out.
Yay Media Group.